Okay, hi guys, I think I'm live now. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Yeah. This is the first session we are doing for this year. I plan to do these kind of sessions every Saturday from now on. Mostly we'll be focusing on Quant and LRDI. We might do some verbal also in the coming days. If everything is good, do let us know in the chat. Please do like the stream. These are the sessions that I used to do quite a lot last year also. I plan to do this year also. Most of the sessions will happen every Saturday. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the sessions will be both Quant as well as LRDI. Mostly we'll be solving questions and sometimes we'll be going through concepts, but most of these sessions will be about solving questions. So let us get started. If you have just joined us, please do like the stream. I'm looking to get to 100 likes before the session ends. So please do like the stream. I think we have around 10 or 12 likes, so we need to get another 80-90 likes. Yeah, good evening, good afternoon Yashika, Uma Balaji, Tirumala Sai, Karan, Suren speaks, Evil Alphas. Okay, interesting guys. Let us get started. The first question will be on your screen. Before we start, one of the first things I would tell you is, if you have just started your preparation for CAT 2026, one of the best PDFs that you're going to get is a compilation of all the formulas that are important for CAT. You can find it on our Cracku page. You have to just Google search Cracku CAT formulas PDF. Just Google search that Cracku CAT formulas PDF. You will go to a page where you can download the PDF for all of the important formulas for CAT. That PDF is downloaded more than 2.3 lakh times. If you see this over here. In fact, the latest number I just checked before the session started, this is close to 2.6 lakh people have downloaded the PDF. It is a very useful PDF. I would definitely recommend you to download it. It is completely for free. And I would say this is the one PDF that will help you immensely for Quant as far as CAT 2026 is concerned. Let us look at the first question. This is the first question. I think we have around 2.5 minutes or maybe 2 minutes. Let us try to solve it. If you get the answer, please do post it in the chat. Good afternoon, Ajay. Sir, when will the test be YouTube? Yeah, this is the test. Basically, we will be starting. No, the YouTube sessions will not be live streamed on our website. I take the classes for the premium students of Cracku every Monday. That will be there only on the Cracku website. The sessions I take on Saturday will be free for all and they will be there only on YouTube. Hi, Mahadev. Yeah, I think some of the people are getting it correct. Good to see. Anish Singh is asking why only Monday, why not other days? For the premium students of Cracku, I take a class every Monday for 2 hours. Siley takes a class every Thursday for 2 hours. The remaining 3 days, that is Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, we have very good faculty who take the live classes. Okay, somebody is asking how to take care of anxiety and calm down. Okay, I'll talk about it after explaining this question. The time is up. Let us try to solve this question. Please do like the stream, guys. We got I think around 30 likes. I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream ends. So please do like it. And let us solve this question. In this question, there is a person who buys 18 local tickets for rupees 110. There are first class tickets which cost rupees 10 and second class tickets which cost rupees 3. Let us assume that the number of first class tickets is A and let the number of second class tickets be B. What is the total number of tickets he bought? The total number of tickets he bought is 18. The number of first class tickets he bought we assumed is A, number of second class tickets he bought we assumed is B. Therefore, A plus B is equal to 18. What is the price of a first class ticket? The price of a first class ticket is 10. And what is the price of a second class ticket? The price of a second class ticket is 3. So what is the total money that he spent? He bought A first class tickets. Each of them cost 10 rupees. So the total price of the first class tickets is 10A. He bought B second class tickets. Each of them cost rupees 3. So the total cost of the second class tickets is 3B. This is the total money that he spent. This has to equal rupees 110. Now we have two equations. This is the first equation and this is the second equation. We have two equations and we have two unknowns. Once we have two equations and two unknowns, we can solve it to find out the value of A and B. So suppose we multiply this equation with 3. What are we going to get? We are going to get 3A plus 3B is equal to 54. If you subtract this equation from the earlier equation, we are going to get 10A minus 3A is 7A. 3B minus 3B you will get cancelled. This is equal to 110 minus 54, which is 56. So the value of A is equal to 8. A plus B is equal to 18. So the value of B is equal to 10. So the number of first class tickets that he bought is equal to 8. And the number of second class tickets he bought is equal to 10. What we are told is, if the number of first class tickets and second class tickets are interchanged, how much will it cost? So what we are basically saying is, if the number of first class tickets is 10 and the number of second class tickets is 8, what is the total cost? Every first class ticket costs 10 rupees. Every second class ticket costs 3 rupees. So the total money that is spent is 10 into 10, which is 100, plus 8 into 3, which is 24, which equals 124 rupees, which is option D. Let us look at the next question. And in the meantime, let me look at the chat. DSP saying, is there no scoreboard sort of a thing? There is no scoreboard for now, ma'am, because this is just the start of the preparation for CAT 2026. I thought let us not put unnecessary stress, but if you are interested, let me know. I'll probably start it next time. I'll tell you the people who got it correct last for the first question. Paurish Garg, Ritu Parmar, Akash, Naman and Nikhil. Kumar is saying, sir, looking for CAT course. If any one of you is looking for a CAT course, please do send a mail to support@cracku.in. Once you send a mail to support@cracku.in, we will get in touch with you. If you want, you can even call us at 6303239042. If you are looking for any CAT course, you can either call us at this number or you can send a mail to support@cracku.com. Yeah, work at, sir, I'll be happy if I get my answer. I'll answer your question, man. It is just that I'm thinking about what is the best way to respond. And there are many other questions. I'll answer that. I think your question is a very important question. I'll answer it properly. Just give me some time. Evil Alpha, sir, is the on-screen calculator available in the exam? Yeah, in CAT you will have access to an on-screen calculator. Ajay Singh, sir, I started with Head Start batch, but I couldn't stay consistent due to health issues, so I'm now feeling getting stuck again. How to begin the preparation again? Basically, you start somewhere, start your preparation on some particular day, do it for 2-3 days, and then you will get the momentum. It is always important for you to take the first step. If you're not taking the first step, you will always keep getting more and more stress that, okay, time is passing, I'm not making any progress and all, which is not good. The best way to actually get over all of this inertia or stress or anxiety, all of this is actually by putting in the effort for the first 3-4 days. Okay, just 1 minute, guys. Let me solve this question. Okay. A man purchased 40 fruits, apples and oranges for rupees 17. So a man purchased some apples and he purchased some oranges. We don't know the cost price of an apple and an orange. Let us assume that the cost price of an apple is A and the cost price of an orange is O. We even don't know what is the number of apples he bought and the number of oranges he bought. What we do know is that the total fruits that he bought is 40. So let us assume that he bought X apples and 40 minus X oranges, because the total number of fruits that he bought is 40. What is the cost price of A apples? That will be A into X. What is the cost price of 40 minus X oranges? That will be O into 40 minus X. This will equal rupees 17. Now suppose he interchanges the number of apples and oranges. That is, suppose he buys 40 minus X apples and suppose he buys X oranges. Then what will the total cost be? What is the cost of 40 minus X apples? It will be A into 40 minus X. And what is the cost price of X oranges? It will be O into X. This we are told is equal to rupees 15. So here we have two equations. What will happen if you are adding both of these equations? If you are adding both the equations, we are going to get AX plus A into 40 minus X. That is A into 40, which is 40A, minus AX, plus we are going to get O into 40 minus X, which is 40O minus OX plus OX. This will be equal to 17 plus 15, which is 32. You will notice that we can cancel AX and minus AX. We can also cancel minus OX and OX. So what we are essentially left with is 40A plus 40O is equal to 32. Or this is basically 40 times A plus O. So A plus O is equal to 32 by 40, and 32 by 40 is 0.8. So the cost price of an apple and one orange is equal to 0.8 rupees, or that will equal 80 paise, which is option C. Let me look at the next question. Okay, Abhishek, don't spam like this, man. I really dislike it when people spam. What you wanted to say, if you say once, that is sufficient. If you're spamming so many times, I find it to be very rude. And I won't answer it. Okay guys, let me answer what work cat somebody has asked earlier with respect to stress. He was saying that what is the best way in which we can handle stress and anxiety with respect to the cat examination. What I always feel is there are two things. One, I personally notice that when I use my phone quite a lot, I feel more stressed without knowing about it. I feel more anxious. One of the, I think, very clear ways in which we can decrease anxiety in day-to-day life is decreasing the use of smartphone. That is one thing I would definitely tell you. Second thing, I also notice personally that when I work out, when I go for a run or when I cycle, my anxiety levels decrease. That is again a second thing which I would recommend you to do. The third thing is specifically with respect to CAT preparation. I would say that if you're actually putting in that effort, it will help you tell yourself that you are doing everything that is in your hands. So put in the effort, decrease smartphones, work out. I think these three things will, in the medium term, ensure that your anxiety and your stress decreases. Basically what I feel is you should keep giving your brain some rest. It should just get bored sometimes. It should feel like you should be able to think about different things and not just get bombarded by unnecessary social media. So that is one reason I would tell you, don't focus on or try to avoid your smartphone. Just focus on whatever is your goals, even if you're feeling bored, even if you're feeling like completely like without absolutely bored, even that I think is fine. Just avoid your smartphone, work out and put in the effort to prepare for CAT every single day. I think these things will ensure that your mental health is definitely much better. Kumar is asking, sir, new batch starts on Monday. If I start preparation now, is it possible to crack CAT 2026 if I spend 2 hours per day as a working professional? I would say, see, the definition of crack is relative. Some person might be looking at 99.9 as cracking, some person will look at 99 as cracking, some people will look at 90 as cracking. What I do know is we have sufficient time for you to prepare well for CAT. CAT 2026 I think is more than 9.5 months away. So you have 9 months to prepare for CAT. I think 9 months is more than enough time to do well in CAT. You have to just ensure that you are consistent and have good habits. What are the good habits when you are preparing for CAT? One thing I would tell you is read every day. Every single day you have to read at least 3 to 4 articles. This will clearly help you in your reading comprehension. Read 3 or 4 articles every single day. Solve 10 to 15 quant questions every day. Not very difficult. If you have access to the Cracku study room, that is very, very useful. You will get a very good database of questions you can practice every single day. And I am asking you to solve just 15 quant questions every day. Then solve 2 or 3 LRDIs every day. LRDI sets. Not a lot. These are basically the things that I would ask you to do so that you will improve in each one of the 3 sections. And if you think about it, all 3 combined will take you less than 2 hours. But you have to do it every single day. And you will clearly notice that your performance is improving. And I will also tell you to take 1 mock every 2 weeks. Now if you are doing it, one thing I can promise you is that wherever you are today, by the time of CAT, you will improve significantly. Whether you achieve 99.8, 99.9, 99, all of those things I can't really comment unless I know where you are right now. But wherever you are right now, if you put in this effort, which is not very difficult, you will improve significantly from wherever you are. That I am quite certain. And it will take you less than 2 hours. One more thing you have to remember is CAT is not a difficult examination. CAT is not like JEE. JEE I think is a tough examination. Its portion also is huge for JEE. For CAT, the syllabus also is not huge. You have to just, because it is designed for working professionals. So you have to have belief in yourself and you have to put in effort every single day. If you put in effort from now on, I feel there is a very good chance any decent student can do very well in CAT. Okay. In a factory, each day the expected number of accidents is related to the number of overtime hours by a linear equation. So let us assume that the number of accidents is equal to k into overtime hours plus some constant c, because this is how a linear equation looks like. Number of accidents is linearly dependent on the overtime hours. Now we are told that if there are 1000 overtime hours, 8 accidents are reported. So 8 is equal to 1000k plus c, and 400 overtime hours, there are 5 accidents. So 5 is equal to 400k plus c. If you subtract one from the other, you are going to get 3 is equal to 600k, or the value of k is equal to 3 by 600, which is equal to 1 by 200. What does this tell us? This tells us from over here we can solve the value of c. 8 is equal to 1000 by 200 plus c, or the value of c will be equal to, this is 5, 8 minus 5 is 3. So basically the equation we have is that accidents is equal to overtime by 200 plus 3. What we are now asked is, if say there are no overtime hours, that is if overtime is equal to 0, how many accidents will happen? If overtime is equal to 0 over here, the number of accidents will be equal to 3. So the answer for this particular question is option B. Let us now look at the next question. We have close to 50 people who are watching the stream live, guys. Please like the stream. I want to get to 100 likes before the stream ends. My maximum part of distractions come from my own wandering mind and thought. Okay, see, work at what I personally feel is that even if my mind is wandering, everybody's mind wanders, okay, it is not just yours. But I feel that even if my mind is wandering, it is fine. I just feel a lot more stress if I'm just on my phone for like an hour. Then I feel like stressed out, I feel anxious and all. But even if I'm thinking about random things, that also is fine. Okay, actually maybe people are different. For me, if I'm just thinking about random things, I feel much more calmer. So people are different, all those is fine, but these are certain things which I have observed will definitely help me calm down. You have to figure out what is it that helps you calm down. But one thing that I'm quite certain after mentoring so many students is, with respect to anxiety about a particular examination, that anxiety will decrease if you put in the effort. You put in that effort every 2 days, every 3 days, because you should feel that whatever is in your hands you are doing. Once you are comfortable that okay, जो मेरे हाथ में है मैं वो कर रहा हूँ, उसके बाद मुझे नहीं लगता कि जो स्ट्रेस है वो बढ़ेगा, क्योंकि तुम्हें पता है कि जो तुम कर सकते हो वो कर रहे हो. तो results are not in our hands, but at least if the efforts are up to the mark, you will definitely feel less stress. Now I'll also answer what you are saying about the syllabus not being completed and taking tests. Syllabus is never completed, man. I feel that it will never come to a point where you feel very comfortable about all the different things. But only if you take a mock test, you will feel okay where you are lacking and where you are doing well. The way I look at a mock test is, it will help you prepare better. It will help you prepare more efficiently, so that the time you spend on particular topics is more efficient. If you feel that, say you are spending so much time on algebra, but you are already good at algebra, suppose you are not doing well in arithmetic. If you take a mock test, you will immediately realize that, okay, you are not doing well in particular topics and you will spend more time there. So that is why I would tell you, even if the syllabus is not completed, take a mock. It's okay. You don't do well, that's fine. But your time spent in preparing will be more efficient. Okay. In this question, we are told that Nisha went to buy 3 types of stationery products. Each of them were priced at 5, 2 and 1 rupees. So let us assume that the 3 types of products that Nisha went to buy are A, B and C. The cost of A is rupees 5. The cost of B is rupees 2. And the cost of C is rupees 1. So the total money that was spent in buying A products will be 5A. The total money that was spent buying B products is 2B. And the total money that she spent buying C products is C. But after buying these 3, the guy actually gave her 3 products of C. So she did not get just C, she went and got 3 more products of rupees 1 each. So the total products of this variety that she got is C plus 3. This will equal 20. This is basically the equation that we have. So 5A plus 2B plus C is equal to 17. We are also told that A, B and C are greater than 1. If A, B and C are greater than 1, what is the value A can take? A is not equal to 1. A can be either 2 or 3. Because if A is 4, 5 into 4, this itself will be 20, which is greater than 17. Similarly, if A is equal to 3, what will happen if A is equal to 3? If A is equal to 3, 5A will be 15. 15 plus 2B plus C is equal to 17, or 2B plus C is equal to 2. If B is greater than 1, if C is greater than 1, 2B plus C cannot be equal to 2. So this is definitely not possible. So it would imply that A has to equal 2. If A is equal to 2, 5A will be equal to 10. So 2B plus C is equal to 7. Now what are the values B can take? B is greater than 2. So B is again equal to either 2 or 3. B cannot be equal to 4 because 2B will be equal to 8 and C will be minus 1. Again, if B is equal to 3, what will happen? If B is equal to 3, 2B will be 6. 6 plus C is equal to 7, or C will be equal to 1. But we want C to be greater than 1. So again, that is not possible. So B has to equal 2. If B is equal to 2, 4 plus C is equal to 7, or C is equal to 3. So the value of C will be equal to 3. These are the number of products that Nisha bought initially. But the shopkeeper gave her 3 more products of C because he did not have change. So the total number of products that Nisha bought home will be 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3, which is equal to 10. This will be option D. Let us look at the next question. I will also answer some queries that people have. Many people are actually asking us about the CAT 2026 course. There is a course and there is a batch which is starting from Monday, that is day after tomorrow. If you are interested in the CAT 2026 course, you have to just Google search Cracku CAT 2026 course. If you just Google search Cracku CAT 2026 course, you will get all the information that is needed for you to understand about our course. We have a good page where everything will be explained in detail. If you are having any more queries, you can just call us at our support number. This is 6303-239042. We will answer any queries that you have with respect to the course. Let us look at the next question. Tirumala Yashwant, sir, as you mentioned that solve 15 questions in Quant, 2 to 3 LRD assets as a beginner, where to start? I mean, after completing any topic, should I wait for completing a topic or what to do? Tirumala Sahib, I will tell you in Quant, there are 3 important topics. One is arithmetic. This will involve topics like ratio, proportion, time and work, time, speed, distance, all of those things. Then there is algebra, which is what we are actually doing now. Algebra will involve something like linear equations, quadratic equations, maybe functions, those kind of things. The third one is geometry. These 3 are the most important topics. I would especially tell you to focus on algebra and arithmetic. These 2 are not very difficult, especially arithmetic. This is super easy and very important. Once you complete one of these topics, I would say you will feel very confident. Then I think you can start taking mocks. Don't worry about finishing your syllabus, but try to finish arithmetic and then start taking mocks. Even if there are certain questions you are not understanding, it is okay. You try to solve it so that you at least know the kind of questions that are asked in mocks. And if you start taking mocks, you will have less panic about mocks. When people panic a lot, their performance also deteriorates. That is the reason I would tell you, finish some syllabus, some part of the syllabus and start taking mocks. Okay guys, time is up for this question. We have more than 50 people who are watching. Sorry for asking you so many times, but please do like the stream guys, so that next time when we do the stream, more people will join us. We will be doing a stream every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is where you can interact with us. So if you are not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to it, and please click on the bell icon so that when we do the stream, you will be notified. Okay. In this question, we are given that there are 4 people, Frank, Ferdin, Foulad and Farhan. They are playing a game where the loser doubles the amount of money that the others have. They manage to play 4 games. Each player loses 1 game each as per the reverse alphabetical orders of their names. So who is first in alphabetical order? This guy is first, Farhan. Second, I think, will be Ferdin, F-A-R. Third will be Foulad. And fourth will be Frank. Okay. Now they lose in reverse alphabetical order. So the first guy who loses will be Frank. Second guy who loses will be Foulad. Third guy who loses will be Ferdin. And fourth guy who loses will be Farhan. So if you are looking at it, let us assume that this is the price with them at the start. This is the coins with them after round 1. This is the coins with them after round 2. This is the coins with them after round 3. And this is the coins with them after round 4. Who wins the first round? Sorry, who loses the first round? Farhan loses the first round. Sorry, Frank loses the first round. Second round is lost by Fawlad. Third by Fardeen. And last round is lost by Farhan because they lose in the reverse of their alphabetical order. What we are also told is that at the end of round 4, all of them will have 32 rupees. So this is 32, this guy has 32, this guy has 32, and this guy has 32. So the total money with all of them is 128, which is 32 into 4. So after round 3, what is the amount of money with each of the 3 guys who did not lose? Because Farhan lost the last round, he had to double the amount of money with everybody else. So this would imply that these guys had 16, 16 and 16. 16 plus 16 plus 16 is 48. Because Farhan lost the last round, he doubled the amounts of all the other guys. This is 48. The total amount of coins will remain the same. It is 128. Therefore, the number of coins with Farhan will be 16, 16, 16, 48. That is 128 minus 48 is 80. Who lost this round? The third round was lost by Fardeen. So this would imply that other than Fardeen, everybody else, their coins doubled. Therefore, Farhan's would be 40, this would be 8 and this would be 8. The total number of coins again will remain 128. This would imply that what is 40 plus 8 plus 8? That is 56. 128 minus 56 is 72. This is the number of coins with Fardeen. Who lost this round? This round was lost by Fawlad. So other than this guy, everybody else's number of coins doubled. So the number of coins with Frank will be 4, with Fardeen will be 36, and with this guy will be 20. The total number of coins is anyways 128. This is not changing. 36 plus 20 is 56, plus 4 is 60. Out of 128, 60 coins are with these guys. This would imply that this guy has 68 number of coins. The first round was lost by Frank. So other than Frank, everybody else, the number of coins doubled. So Fawlad had 34, Frank had 18, and Farhan had 10. The total number of coins is 128, which is remaining unchanged. So this is 34 plus 18 is 52 plus 10 is 62. 62 coins are accounted for. 128 minus 62 is 66. This is the number of coins at the start. Frank had the highest number of coins. So the answer for this question is option C. Let me look at the next question. Sarah is saying, sir, I work in a consulting firm and it is not possible for me to attend live class in the evening. Is there a morning live class at Cracku? I couldn't find it in the website. Sarah, I really wanted to teach in the morning, but most people preferred in the evening, because of which we put the evening class at 7:30 to 9:30. As of now, there is no live class in the morning, although that is something I would really prefer, but most people are not available at that time. But I'll try to see if something can be done, but as of now it is just in the evening. And the reason I was saying I'll try to see if something can be done is because I would prefer to teach during office hours. That is from 9 to 6 if there is some time when I can teach, because I like teaching and I especially like teaching in the morning. I don't particularly like teaching at night, but in the morning I really like teaching. So I'll try to see if something can be done, but I'm not sure. Kunal is saying, I started my CAT preparation in January, but my BCom exams from April have temporarily broken my consistency. How to manage both my grad studies and CAT prep together efficiently? I think it's okay even if you're getting a break for a month or so. That should not affect the consistency in the long term. I think it is okay. The important thing is once your exams are over, you should again start building that momentum. One thing that I notice is if the momentum breaks, getting it back sometimes is painful. So just understand that the crucial part is 2-3 weeks, the first 2-3 weeks after your BCom exams are over, that is very important for you to motivate yourself to again start the preparation. You should again have that schedule and a habit of preparing every single day. Once you get into that zone, you will again get the momentum. Now this guy Hari works in a plantation farm. Each mango tree at the farm contains 240 mangoes on an average. So we have Hari and each tree has 240 mangoes per tree. How many trees are there? There are n trees. Now suppose he plucked x mangoes from each tree. If he is plucking x mangoes from each tree, how many mangoes are there per tree? There are 240 minus x. So the number of mangoes left in the farm is 5200. This would imply that n into 240 minus x is equal to 5200. But suppose he had plucked 20 more mangoes from each tree. If he plucked 20 more mangoes from each tree, how many mangoes will be there per tree? There will be only 220 minus x per tree. So the total number of mangoes that will be left is n into 220 minus x. This we are told is 4400. We are asked to calculate the value of x. So if you divide one equation by the other, if you are dividing the first equation by the second equation, we can cancel n and we are left with 240 minus x divided by 220 minus x is equal to 5200 divided by 4400, which is 52 divided by 44. This is equal to 13 by 11. If you cross multiply, you are going to get 240 into 11 minus 11x is equal to 220 into 13 minus 13x. This will be 2x is equal to 220 into 13 minus 240 into 11. This you can simplify, you can divide both equations by 2. You can calculate it anyways, but I would say divide both the equations by 2. What is 220 divided by 2? It is 110. So this is 110 into 13 minus 120 into 11. This is equal to 1430 minus 1320. This is equal to 110. So the value of x will be equal to 110, which is option D. Let me look at the next question, guys. This I think is an easy question which most people should get correct. Okay, yeah, Fardin should come before, somebody is saying that Farhan should come before Fardin. Yeah, maybe that is true. I'll have to check the earlier question once. I think it might be true, but I don't think the final answer will be changed. Anuvrat Nehra is saying, hello sir, should we prioritize learning or practicing the syllabus in depth or in breadth? I would say at the start, if you practice the breadth, I think that is sufficient. Then you can increase the depth as you practice more and more. I would say that is a much better way of preparing as compared to just going very deep into any particular question. So focus on covering the entire syllabus, at least the basics of the different syllabus, different topics, and start attempting mocks. Then you will understand how you are performing in the different topics. Then you can increase your depth. So I would always say first focus on breadth and then come to depth. ओके क्या हुआ अभिषेक सर, प्लीज मुझे इग्नोर मत कीजिए. व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन यू आस्क्ड? ओके, एनी बेस्ट स्ट्रेटजी फॉर DILR fresher? Okay, any strategy for fresher DILR? I would say one thing I would definitely tell everybody to do is, with respect to DILR, is prepare for CAT previous papers. I think this is the best source for you to prepare for DILR. If you are looking at just say CAT 2025, there are 3 slots. Each slot will have 5 LRDS. So here you are getting 15 LRDS sets. Then you have 2024, you will get another 15. 2023, you will get another 15. You do that till 2017. All of this combined, you will get close to 100 plus LRDS sets. You can get all of these entire LRDS sets completely for free in the Cracku website. Just Google search Cracku CAT previous papers, download these PDFs and start solving the LRDS sets. In the PDF itself, you will have a link for the video solution, which I think is very nice and very cool. So after any LRDS set, if you're stuck anywhere, you can go through the video solution, which is also completely available for free. I think this is the best way in which you can start your CAT preparation, especially if you're a fresher. Okay. 10 years from now, the ratio of the age of Ram and Sham will be 6:7. So we have Ram and we have Sham. This is their age today. This is their age 10 years from now. So if their ratio of their age is 6:7, 10 years from now, let us assume that Ram's age is 7x, 6x and Sham's age is 7x. This is their age 10 years from now. So what is their age today? Their age today will be 6x minus 10 and 7x minus 10. And what is their age 15 years from now? Their age 15 years from now will be 6x minus 10 plus 15, which is 6x plus 5, and 7x minus 10 plus 15, which is 7x plus 5. The difference between these two, we are told, is equal to 5. So x essentially is equal to 5. What is the current age of Ram? The current age of Ram is 6x minus 10, which is 6 into 5 minus 10, which is equal to 20. So the age is 20. I think this is an interesting question. Try to solve it. Okay, Sarah, I'll try to do that. I'll try to see if we can have some classes during office hours. I'll try to do that. Guys, please do like the stream. We have 65 likes. Need 35 more likes. In this question, we are told that Arjun brought two cousins to the playground whose names were Atul and Arun. Let the age of Atul be X and let the age of Arun be Y. When his friends asked their ages, he told them that the sum of the ages of Atul and the inverse of the age of Arun, what does this become? Age of Atul is X plus inverse of the age of Arun is 1 by Y. When you multiply this with the sum of the age of Arun, which is Y, plus inverse of the age of Atul is 1 by X. This product, we are told, is equal to 49 by 6. Now if you expand this, you are going to get 4 terms, which is xy plus 1 by y into y is 1, plus x into 1 by x is again 1, plus 1 by y into 1 by x is 1 by xy. This is equal to 49 by 6. Or you are essentially going to get xy plus 1 by xy is equal to 49 by 6 minus 2, which is equal to 37 by 6. Let us assume that the product xy, that is x into y, is a new variable p. So what we are essentially getting is that p plus 1 by p is equal to 37 by 6, or p square plus 1 into 6 is equal to 37p. So 6p square minus 37p plus 6 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. We can simplify this as 6p square minus 36p minus p plus 6 is equal to 0. This is 6p minus 1 into p minus 6 is equal to 0. So p is either 1 by 6 or p is equal to 6. X and y are natural numbers. Their product will not be a fraction. So p is not equal to 1 by 6. The only possibility is that p is equal to 6. That is, x into y is equal to 6. What we are also told is that they are natural numbers greater than 1. If there are two natural numbers, the product of which is greater than 1, the only possibility is that they are 2 and 3. So the answer for this particular question is option A. Let us look at the next question. We have started a very good series. This is definitely going to be very useful for students who are preparing for VARC and DILR. Please do bookmark these two playlists. We'll be uploading 100 VARC reading comprehension sets. We have already uploaded I think 7 or 8. You can see them in this playlist. Similarly, we will be uploading 100 LRDI sets. That will be there in this particular playlist. These are two very important playlists. We are uploading one VARC set on YouTube and one LRDI set on YouTube every single day. So definitely do bookmark these two playlists. They will help you quite a lot when the examination comes closer. These are basically the things that you have to do to ensure that you are consistent. It doesn't take too much effort. You have to just be consistent every single day, and this will help you get that. Yeah, Pradesh, even I agree with that. I don't know, sometimes questions like that are asked. Okay, let us try to answer this question. In this question, we are told that alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x square plus 2ax plus 3a plus 10 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. Every quadratic equation which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has something called a discriminant. Let us call the discriminant d. The discriminant of a quadratic equation is b square minus 4ac. Now if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, the quadratic equation will have two real roots. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, it will have one distinct real root. That is, it will have two real roots which are equal to each other. Whenever you are told that the roots are the same or something like that, it would mean that b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. If b square minus 4ac is less than 0, the quadratic equation will have 0 real roots. That is, both the roots will be complex. Here we are basically asked that we will have two roots, alpha and beta. Alpha is less than 1 is less than beta, so both the roots are real. So we want b square minus 4ac to be greater than 0. What is b square minus 4ac? That will be 4a square minus 4 times 3a plus 10. this has to be greater than 0. You can divide this entire equality with 3 inequality. So this is a square minus 3a minus 10 is greater than 0. This is a square minus 5a plus 2a minus 10 is greater than 0. You can take, this is basically a minus 5 into a plus 2 is greater than 0. So a is either less than minus 2 or a is greater than 5. This is the condition that is needed for the quadratic equation to have two real roots. In addition to it, we have to look at the condition such that one of the root is less than 1 and one of the root is greater than 1. For that, if you are having a quadratic equation like this, if say it has two roots like this, we want one to fall between both the roots. This is alpha and this is beta. If you want one to fall between both of the roots, what is the condition that is needed? The condition that is needed is that at 1, this point has to be less than 0. That is f of 1 has to be less than 0. What is f of 1? Instead of x, substitute the value of x to be equal to 1 over here. This will be 1 plus 2a plus 3a plus 10 has to be less than 0. That is 5a plus 11 has to be less than 0, or a has to be less than minus 11 by 5. So we want a to be less than minus 11 by 5. This is needed. We want a to be either less than minus 2 or a to be greater than 5. If you are looking at it, the interval in which both the conditions are satisfied is when a belongs to minus infinity to minus 11 by 5. So the answer for this question will be option A. Let us now look at the next question. No, Akash, why is a is equal to minus 3 excluded? We are just saying that a has to be less than minus 11 by 5. That is, a has to be less than minus 2.2. So a is equal to minus 3 actually falls in that interval. Dance and Pringle is saying, why did we assume that they have real roots? We are assuming that they have real roots because we are told that alpha is less than 1 is less than beta. Whenever you are told that a particular number is less than 1, then that particular number has to be a real number. Otherwise, you can't say that a number is less than 1. Amongst complex numbers, there is no inequality. That is, if say, when you are saying that alpha is less than 1, then you are implying that alpha is real. If alpha is complex, less than 1 or greater than 1, that is not defined. Okay, let us try to solve this question. We have 79 likes, guys. We just need 21 more likes to get to 100. Okay, let us try to solve this question. We are required to calculate the sum of all roots of the equation x minus 1 whole square minus 5 times modulus of x minus 1 plus 6 is equal to 0. To solve this question, let us assume that modulus of x minus 1 is equal to a new variable called p. Because we are seeing x minus 1 whole square and modulus of x minus 1. So if you assume that modulus of x minus 1 is equal to p, it becomes easier. So p has to be greater than or equal to 0. This is the first thing. And interestingly, x minus 1 whole square is equal to modulus of x minus 1 whole square, which is equal to p square. Because x minus 1 whole square is always greater than or equal to 0, it will actually equal modulus of x minus 1 whole square. So the given quadratic equation becomes equal to p square minus 5p plus 6 is equal to 0, and we want p to be greater than or equal to 0. So this would imply that this can be simplified to equal p minus 2 into p minus 3 is equal to 0. So we have two cases, either p is equal to 2 or p is equal to 3. But what is p? P is simply equal to modulus of x minus 1. So modulus of x minus 1 is equal to 2 or modulus of x minus 1 is equal to 3. So x minus 1 is equal to 2 or x minus 1 is equal to minus 2 or x minus 1 is equal to 3 or x minus 1 is equal to minus 3. So the value of x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 1. Here x is equal to 4 or x is equal to minus 2. So the given equation has 4 roots. The roots are 3 minus 1, 4 and minus 2. The sum of these two is equal to 2. The sum of these two also is equal to 2. So the overall sum of all the roots will be equal to 4, which is option A. Let us try to solve the next question, guys. Ankit Sharma, sir, sorry to interrupt in class, but can you give me just 1 minute advice on what exactly I should do in Quant to score 99.9 percentile in 2 years? I have a lot of time but not getting how to use it. Okay, very good question. I also like the fact that you are ambitious, and it I think is a very good thing. Many people are like slightly circumspect to actually aim very high, which I think is not a good thing. So the first thing which you are doing very well is setting your target high, so that once you keep your targets high, you will start feeling less intimidated by them. So that I think is a very good thing. The second thing I'll tell you is, many people ask me how I do well in Quant, because many times I tend to get full marks in Quant. One of the things that helps me quite a lot is the fact that I solve so many questions. I solve all the questions for dash cats, I solve so many questions for daily targets. Even these kind of sessions that I take, I solve a lot of questions. So in general, when I'm solving so many questions, one of the things that happens is, when I look at a particular question, I just know what is the first step. Any CAT question that you give me, I immediately know what is the first step. That is a skill that I developed because I solved so many questions. If you are aiming for a 99.9, what is needed for you is also very similar. You have to solve so many questions, especially from arithmetic, algebra and geometry. And you have to keep motivating yourself. Whenever you are solving a question, you should feel that, okay, every time I am solving a question, I am coming closer to my goal. One way in which I can tell you is put a random heuristic. One heuristic that you can tell yourself is, if I am solving 100 questions in Quant, on the day of the examination I am going to get 1 additional mark. Just motivate yourself that way, that ensures that you are going to solve more and more and more questions. If you want to score 99.99, it is definitely possible with 2 years of effort, but you have to solve thousands of questions. So if you are enrolled to the Cracku study room, for example, that I think is an excellent question bank for you. Just use it, solve all the Quant questions that are there in it. That will just ensure that you would have so much practice that on the day of the examination you are going to be both fast as well as accurate. the smallest positive integral value of a for which the roots x to the power 4 minus a into x square plus 9 are real and distinct. So here if you assume that x square is equal to p, what is the quadratic equation looking like? It is p square minus ap plus 9 is equal to 0. Now for this, for the roots to be real, we want the discriminant of this quadratic equation to be greater than or equal to 0. And what is the discriminant of this given quadratic equation? The discriminant is a square minus 36. So we want a square minus 36 to be greater than or equal to 0 for the roots to be real. But we also want the roots to be distinct. Remember what we discussed. If d is greater than 0, we will have two real roots. If d is equal to 0, we will have one real root, or both the roots are basically equal to each other. So we will have one distinct real root. If d is less than 0, we will have no real roots. So here we want this particular case to happen. So d being greater than or equal to 0 will not suffice. D has to be strictly greater than 0. Because if d is equal to 0, the roots will be real, but they won't be distinct. They will be equal to each other. So a square has to be greater than 36, or a has to be greater than 6, because we are only looking for positive integral values of a. So the smallest value that a can take will be equal to option B, which is equal to 7. Akash is saying, sir, how many questions are there in the study room? I think study room has 16,000 or 20,000 questions. You can just check it out. Overall, I think around 40% of them are in Quant. So I would say study room has at least around 7,000 or 8,000 questions in Quant. But again, just check it out. I don't remember the exact number. Shaili Dhadania is saying, sir, despite scoring consistently above 95 percentile in mocks, I succumbed to pressure in the actual examination of CAT 2025. Now I feel like I have wasted my final year of graduation. I am feeling discouraged and lost. Can I rebuild my confidence and restart my preparation? See, there are a couple of things I'll tell you. One thing is, one examination should not shatter your confidence. One examination you have to give respect to the examination, but also not too much respect. It should not define who you are. So sometimes bad things happen, man. Sometimes you don't perform well on the day of the examination, but it should not make you lose your confidence. I think that is not a good thing. Secondly, I would say if you are feeling shattered or demotivated, it is okay to take a break. I would say, because you are in the final year of graduation, find a job, try to work in the corporate sector for some time, and a change in the surroundings, change in the situation, when you are finding new friends, when you are having a new place, all of these things will bring some cheer in your life, and you will also feel more motivated. At that point of time, if you want to feel like preparing for CAT, I would say then start preparing. One bad thing that you can do is, or a bad decision that you can take is, because you didn't do well in CAT last year and because you are in final year of graduation, you might tell yourself that I'll take a gap year and I'll be at my home and I'll study. That I think will be a bad decision, because your mental health will be not very good. First of all, if you're already feeling discouraged or demotivated, if you're staying in the same house, if you are not going to office, if you're not interacting with other adults, and if you're trying to prepare for an examination, you will start overthinking and you will start putting yourself under a lot of pressure. So I would definitely tell you, especially if you're in the final year of graduation, try to find a job, try to start your corporate career, and after that, if you're feeling motivated, then start your preparation for CAT slowly. Okay. In this question, we are told that x is real and the smallest value of the expression 3x square minus 4x plus 7 is equal to what? One of the things that you should know is, when you have a quadratic equation which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, or just the expression ax square plus bx plus c, if a is greater than 0, then this quadratic equation will have its minimum value when x is equal to minus b by 2a. In this particular case, the quadratic equation is 3x square minus 4x plus 7. So this will have its minimum value when x is equal to 4 by 2 into 3, which is equal to 2 by 3. So when x is equal to 2 by 3, this quadratic equation will have its minimum. And what is that minimum value equal to? Just substitute the value of x to be equal to 2 by 3. So that will be 3 into 2 by 3 whole square minus 4 into 2 by 3 plus 7. This is equal to 4 by 3 minus 8 by 3 plus 7. This will equal 17 by 3. So the minimum value of the given quadratic equation will be 17 by 3, and that will occur when x is equal to 2 by 3. You can see the options, it is 2 by 3, 7 by 9 and 3 by 4. None of them is matching 17 by 3. So the correct answer is option D, which is none of the above. One of the things that we have built recently, which is being very popular among students, is the Cracku CAT profile evaluator. We have built a very nice tool. You have to enter your name, your gender, your 10th and 12th percentage, all of these things, and we have used AI to ensure that we are giving you a pretty decent profile evaluator. We have filed a lot of RTIs to figure out what is the lowest cutoff that is needed for people of your particular profile, your minimum CAT score that is needed to get shortlist from most of the institutes. I would say this is a very good tool which you can use to figure out what is the required percentile that you would need to do well in any of this, to get shortlist from any of the top 20 MBA institutes. Definitely do check it out. Okay. In this question we are told that there is a function f of x which is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, which satisfy the property f of x is less than x. This is true for all x which belongs to the real numbers. Which of the following statements must be always true? So if f of x is less than x, we are told that ax square plus bx plus c is less than x, or ax square plus b minus 1 into x plus c is less than 0. Now this is a quadratic equation. If this quadratic equation is always less than 0, what does it mean? Now if you are having a quadratic equation, there are two possibilities. If there is a quadratic equation which is always greater than 0, it will look something like this, where if this is the quadratic equation and if this is the x-axis, both of them are never meeting and the quadratic equation is always greater than x-axis. If this is the quadratic equation which is ax square plus bx plus c, if this is always greater than 0, firstly a has to be greater than 0. Secondly, we want the discriminant to be less than 0, because if the discriminant is equal to 0, the quadratic equation will touch the x-axis. If the discriminant is greater than 0, remember what we discussed, if the discriminant is greater than 0, the quadratic equation will have two roots. How does that look? If a is greater than 0, the quadratic equation will be something like this. If discriminant is less than 0, this is how the quadratic equation will look like. X-axis will be below it, the quadratic equation will be above it. If discriminant is equal to 0, this is y-axis, this is x-axis, the quadratic equation will just about touch the x-axis and go up. It will have exactly one root. At that point, it will touch the x-axis at only one point. If d is greater than 0, this is y-axis, this is x-axis, this is how the quadratic equation will look like. It will touch the x-axis at 2 points. In this interval, the quadratic equation is greater than 0. In this interval, the quadratic equation is greater than 0. In this interval, the quadratic equation is less than 0. This is how the quadratic equation will look like if a is greater than 0, that is the coefficient of x square is greater than 0. It will be exactly the same if the quadratic equation will have a negative coefficient for x square, but it will be completely inverse. If d is less than 0, this is y-axis, this is x-axis, this is how the quadratic equation will be like. The quadratic equation will not touch the x-axis. If d is equal to 0, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. This is how the quadratic equation will be like. It will just touch the x-axis at one point. This is if d is equal to 0. If d is greater than 0, this is how the quadratic equation will be like. It will touch the x-axis at 2 points. In this particular case, what we are told is that this is the scenario that is happening. In this scenario, the quadratic equation is always less than 0. So first a has to be less than 0 and the discriminant has to be less than 0. If you are looking at the options, the only option which is satisfied is option A. Okay. Vedantika, sir, sorry to interrupt. Are non-PF payslips not accepted by IIMs at the time of interviews? Companies with team size less than 20 don't provide PF deductions usually. I know that. See, basically what I know is that IIMs are fairly relaxed with respect to what proofs they accept. Unless there is something which is clearly like not genuine, they will not have a problem and you can easily even explain. So as long as things are fine from your end and if things are genuine from your end, I don't see any reason as to why they would not accept. I would be very surprised if that happens. So, but again, just for peace of mind, you can directly contact the IIM and let them know that these are the things that you have. Is that sufficient or do you need anything else? For example, if pay slips are not sufficient, maybe you can get a letter from your company. There are multiple ways in which you can prove that you are working in that company for that particular period of time. So get in touch with the IIMs, but like I said, I'll be very surprised if they say that this is the exact format that is needed. They are actually very, very accommodating and understanding. I would be very surprised if they really object on the basis of these kind of things. Now we are given a quadratic equation which is x square minus a minus 3x minus a minus 2. For what value of a will the sum of the squares of the roots be 0? Now if you assume that the two roots of a given quadratic equation which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, if the two roots are alpha and beta, the sum of roots which is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and the product of roots which is alpha into beta is equal to c by a. In this particular case, the sum of the roots alpha plus beta is equal to a minus 3, and alpha into beta is equal to minus of a minus 2. We are told that alpha square plus beta square is equal to 0. Now immediately you should figure out that if the sum of the squares of two roots is equal to 0, alpha has to be equal to 0 and beta has to be equal to 0, and from that also you can deduce the answer. But even if you are not able to figure that out, you can just square this. You are going to get alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta is equal to a minus 3 whole square. That is alpha square plus beta square minus 2 times a minus 2 is equal to a square minus 6a plus 9, or alpha square plus beta square is equal to a square minus 4a plus 5, which is equal to a minus 2 whole square plus 1. Now if this is equal to 0, what does that mean? A minus 2 whole square is always greater than or equal to 0. This is a perfect square plus 1. This whole thing will never be equal to 0, because a perfect square plus 1 is always greater than or equal to 1. So the correct answer is a cannot have any value which will be none of this. Anyway guys, what I would actually tell you is please like the stream. If you are just preparing for CAT, if you have just started, what I would tell you is this thing: download the Cracku CAT formula PDF. Just Google search Cracku CAT formulas. This will help you quite a lot. This PDF, like I mentioned, is downloaded by more than 2.6 lakh students. It is very, very useful. We put a lot of effort to make it very comprehensive. The second thing I would tell you is bookmark 2 playlists. We have given the link for both of them. We'll again post it. We'll maybe put it in the description of this video. One is the 100 VARC sets and the other one is the 100 LRDI sets. We are posting one RC in VRC and one LRDI sets as playlists. Definitely bookmark both of them. They are given in the description of this video. They will help you quite a lot. Finally, if you are having any doubts with respect to your CAT preparation, please comment below this video. If you comment, I look at all the comments and I will try to get back to you in a day or two, but I always look at all the comments. Finally, I would tell you one last thing. We are going to do this Saturday sessions every Saturday from now till the actual examination. So Saturday from 2 to maybe 3:30 or 4, please do join us on the Cracku YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any doubts, like I mentioned, please comment below the video. I will look at it and I'll try to get back to you.